Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane, and today we are going to look at an incredible modern minimalist wooden cabin that has been built up in the hills looking right at the Bodensee, one of the biggest lakes, and it's actually the only place where Germany, Switzerland and Austria meet, and that's exactly where we are today. If you like modern, minimalist and very natural, gorgeous homes, this video is for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe right now. And now let's go inside. This house has been built around 5.5 years ago, so around 2020. And it spans over 150 square meters, and it is an absolute gem. Before this house was built, there was just a grass lawn where there weren't a lot of things happening, and the owner decided that this is the space that he wants to turn into his forever home. And so he decided to build this place, and the result is an incredible unique design with pared down, reduced materials that just honor the view and just give the view the spotlight that it deserves. Every single side of the house is covered in big panoramic glass window frames, and so you have a view into every direction, and you can even get a glimpse of the Bodensee, the big lake that sits below, and you just feel like you're on top of the world. As soon as you enter the house, you are already in the living room, and this is quite untypical because we are actually entering on the top floor. And to my right, there is a whole nother level at the bottom, where again you have a gorgeous view over your surroundings. The architects have made the view really the star of the home. We have panoramic windows spanning from the bottom of the floor all the way up to the ceiling, and they just give space to let the green flood in and also flood the space with light. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we post a lot of behind-the-scenes content and more interior design stories you won't find anywhere else. And a very unique thing about this house is that as soon as you step inside, the ceiling actually tilts and opens up to the view. So you don't have a straight ceiling that narrows down your view, but it feels very wide. And this is just a great trick that a lot of architects use to make a space feel even more expansive and to just create even more drama with a view. The kitchen consists of 2 generous kitchen islands where you can cook and entertain. And I always love high kitchen islands because they just add these endless possibilities of how you can use them. But high kitchen islands always create this very relaxed atmosphere that I love. And a very untypical thing that was done in this kitchen is that actually we have the same tiles used as the kitchen floor as well as used on top of the counter. So you just have this very seamless minimalist approach to the design, and at the same time the different materials mark the different areas and just visually separate them from each other. Whenever you have an open space layout, it's important to visually keep the area separated to not just be confused inside the design. Over here, you have your car park, but it would be boring to just cover it up. So instead, they created this gigantic window, and you just have the green of the trees coming in, and it just creates this absolutely incredible little artwork of the nature. And at the same time, the space behind the kitchen serves as a double function. The goal with this house really was to create a place to come home to and to feel really calm and to just create this little oasis of peace and serenity. And I feel like the architects definitely managed to achieve this. They really tried to make the entire approach to design and to styling this home exactly to underline what they wanted to achieve. We really have different types of wood paired with a bit of raw concrete that again just adds this little tension and this raw, rough texture And then again, of course, we have these endless amounts of glass used. And the tilted roof that just opens up the entire house and lets the space feel even more expansive is also clad in these warm wooden beams. And this just again creates an even more hearty and warm atmosphere. Over here we have the dining room area. We just have a very large wooden table that stands freely in the center of the room. And the space doesn't feel cluttered at all because you just have so much space in every direction. You don't have a lot of things standing around, but instead you have an integrated shelf that accentuates different statues. Here we have the first bedroom, and in the upper floor the space is intended for guests who are coming over to stay. And you just have again this incredible space and this incredible sense of calm because the design is very minimal. We literally have a bed standing here, 2 bedside tables, as well as an inbuilt shelf. And what really makes the space stand out and makes it truly remarkable is this absolutely incredible view. And we have these gorgeous windows that again go all the way to the top. It's an ensuite bedroom, which means that you actually have your own bathroom, accessible only through your bedroom. And here the space is again kept in very natural materials. We have the same type of tile that clads both the floor as well as all of the walls. And you just have this very down-to-earth, relaxed and pared-back design. And one of my favorite things about the bathroom is the panoramic window that we have at the top. It's very sleek, but it lets the sky or the tip of the trees shine in. My favorite thing about this house is, actually I have multiple favorites that I will show you. But one of them is this gorgeous terrace that is right the heart of the home. It has been incorporated into the center. So it literally is the heart of the house, and this just creates this incredible living situation. And during the summer you can just keep this door open and get the fresh air and just the fresh view. I actually only learned this today, but apparently the most healthy altitude to live is 1,000 meters, and this is exactly where we are here. And actually all of the blue zones, I don't know if you know them, around the world, they all are located around 1,000 meters at altitude. So it's incredible. And here we can just get in touch even more with nature. And you just have this perfect little outdoor area with all of these natural materials. And throughout the house, you just have these beautiful visual axes that just enlarge the space and create the sense of rhythm and symmetry. And on this side of the house, we have the proper living room with a sofa area, and this is where you can wind down after a long day of work. And it's an absolutely incredible area. Of course, all of you know this, but over here we have a gorgeous Eames lounge chair that is super comfortable. And then again, we have a big white leather sofa. And the color palette again is very pared down because we have the ever strong presence of the green flooding in through the windows. And the only pop of color that accentuates the green and all of these neutral colors is a Persian carpet that is just in this intense red, and it just adds a very strong contrast. The architects really anticipated the owner's needs and just thought about how they would live, and so they created this absolutely incredible situation. The facade that is made up of these black wooden beams, and you can actually, inside the living room, you can actually adjust the wooden beams and tilt them as you want. So this means that if you want some more privacy, or if you want to dim the light in the living room, you can just tilt them and they just perfectly close off this wall. And this is just absolutely insane and super cool. And this is just an incredible example of how architecture can really support your everyday life. Another feature that I love in this house is that we have this incorporated wooden bench that is incorporated into the architecture itself, and it serves a dumbbell function. and has been turned into a bookshelf. And I just love these little unconventional situations that just make the space feel really lived in and that just show that the space is adapted to the needs of the family. Over here we have yet another sofa situation, and it is a bit more traditional than the first one. We have more of a mid-century style. We have this gorgeous gigantic plant and some sand-colored sofa chairs. And again, you just have this gorgeous panoramic window at the top that frames the architecture and just turns it into a piece of art. And this is sort of a multifunctional room. Sometimes it's being used as an office, but I think now they will also turn it into a second guest bedroom. And here we have a vintage wooden cabinet that has all of these old marks and scratches, and I love it whenever you have furniture that feels lived in and where you can just think and wonder what the story of the space is. Also, I've created a design guide with my 5 favorite design tips everybody needs to know. It's completely free. You can get it in the link in the description or by scanning the QR code over here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go like and subscribe, and if you like this video, you will love this one up here.